I know exactly what it feels like to be lost, to want to quit every day of your life. And that's kind of what created me. So on my bad days, that's where all this taking souls and shit comes from. So on my bad days, I had to imagine a false reality. So for me, for instance, I was 300 pounds. A lot of you guys know my backstory. And a black kid, I was the only 36th African-American Navy SEAL in over 80 years. So think about this though. Think about how I wanted to quit. I was afraid of the water. My favorite meal was chocolate milkshakes with chocolate donuts. I didn't run, and I was afraid of the water, and I was 300 pounds. And I have a pipe dream of going to go be a Navy SEAL. Every morning I woke up, and I had less than 3 months to lose 106 pounds to get into the Navy. Every morning I woke up, I wanted to quit. During runs, I quit. During my diet, I quit. During swims, I quit. I quit every single day during this 2.5 months. But at the end of the day, what kept me going was I saw a video of 18 men graduating from Navy SEALs training. And all I thought about was, what if my black ass can be up there on that fucking stage one day and I can pull off this fucking miracle that no one saw. There was no fucking social media. There wasn't no watch David Goggins lose 106 pounds in 2.5 months. There wasn't no, diet plan and shit. No, there was nothing. No one saw it, but I knew it. I saw it. The whole accountability mirror, every morning I woke up, I had a real conversation with that dirty mirror. And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't?
There comes a day, man. Everyone's gonna have this day. There comes a day where being average, being mediocre is just sickening to you. It's just sickening. It makes you want to throw up. Because you've seen people with far less talent than you. As you're growing up with them, their childhood buddies, whatever else, they didn't have what you had. Yet now they're become something that you haven't. There comes that day. It's either when you're young, and it strikes you on the baseball field because you're sick of striking out, or it's when you get fired from your 5th job, and your wife and kids are on your ass because you don't know how to support them anymore. There comes a day where push comes to shove. Where being mediocre, being like average and shit just burns, it sucks so much. You can't deal with it one more day. And you get off your ass and you create something that's always been there. It's always been inside of you trying to come out. But you've never wanted to unwrap it because it's too much pain and commitment. You were scared you were going to fail. You were scared if you started, you never finish it. You didn't want to tell anyone about it. You knew it was there, but you never wanted to embark on it. Until something hits. You get fired or somebody else gets success, remind you of what you could have been. And then the f***ing spark is born. And no matter what happens, I'm never going to be in this boat again. And you get up and you go, even if it gets knocked down, you just keep going, you're a wild man. And life has never been so sweet. It's time to unwrap the potential you can be. It's within you. It's within every single one of us. And the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's just they believed it and they were willing to work their f***ing ass off to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about the genetics. It was about the perseverance. And it wasn't about being the hardest f***ing worker in the room. That's what got them there. And it didn't happen overnight. They got knocked down more than they ever stood up. But they kept going and kept going and kept going and kept going, because what else is the alternative? To be average again. Stop running from the potential of what you can be, guys. It's inside of you. It's always been there. And I'll never accept mediocre again. I'm always going to give it my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say a solid day's work. That's all that will ever find peace in. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. If there's potential inside of you, which you know it's there, but you're too scared to tell anyone else about it, and you go on, get older and older and older and older, and the windows of opportunity start to close, and you knew it could have been given birth to, but you never did it, I promise you, it will haunt you. It's a living nightmare, dude. That fact that you have the ability to do something and you're too weak to turn the key and start the engine on it is a greater disappointment and a greater burden to carry than any of this physical sweat equity or pain in the gym or sacrifice. All that is just nothing compared to a life where you're burdened by regret, guys. It doesn't matter about the past. It's today. What are we doing today? What are we going to engage now? And once we engage, we commit. There's no half commitment, there's no quarter commitment, there's no three-quarter, it's full commitment. Once we engage, it's every day we engage. Because that's the better life. It's your option though. What are you gonna do?
My whole life has been about hardship. Life is designed to go through a difficult journey and see how you come out the other end. And if you come out the other end successful, you have a story. And through that story, you can help other people get through their journeys in life. But if you don't come through your own journey, you have no story to tell. And that's how you grow. You don't grow, if you like bench pressing and you bench press every day, you're not growing. Do squats if you hate squatting. I hate running, so I run a lot. And this helps my mind grow. Whereas all the niceties are gone, the rag is myself. I want to drain it to where there's no more water dripping out of it. To literally, I've drained myself completely of every bit of energy and every bit of focus and every bit of drive I have to where I know I have nothing left. And that's what motivates me to get to that point where I can draw all the energy that God gave me, all the ability I have to harness it all and just see where it takes me. I think pushing yourself physically is the number one factor of life. That is the true spot where you can really dive deep into. Life's about self-discipline. It is about self-discipline. We tend to do the things that are easy. And that is it builds no mental toughness. It builds no mental hardening. It builds nothing. When you working out is where you can build that the fastest. Because it's a constant, it gives you instant feedback. Yeah, you may not lose the weight you want to real fast, but the discipline it takes, it transfers over to all aspects of your life. It's not, man, why are you always working out? Stop looking at it that way. This is the foundation of life. When you look in the mirror, every morning we all look in the mirror to get ready to go to work, to go anywhere. The first thing you see is your reflection. If you don't like what you see in the morning, you lost the war already. It's not about even liking what you see. It's about looking in the mirror and you may start, man, I feel different. That reflection is not everything. It's a feeling you're supposed to get. So you have to, in life, once you leave your house, the war begins. In your house, you have some control. And that reflection in the mirror, you have to control that reflection in the mirror. That's how you start your day. If you leave your house feeling like, okay, I can fight. I've established the mentality to fight. And all that comes from working out. I said, maybe at the end of this journey, there'll be something there for me. If not, I can read. If not, I'm 185 fucking pounds. There's no magic potion. There's no, let me wake up and look at some shit. No, all those words are overused. They're bullshit. It's all bullshit. Just do. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to fucking be remembered? So the big thing is know that if you have big goals and big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? And you got to teach yourself that. But the biggest key to success in anything you do is you got to have an unlimited supply of fucking fuck you. This drive and passion, and it may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fire that I'm going to be somebody. And it has to be there because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do shit, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. So to do that, you have to come into work, and work is whatever your work may be, ready to go. And what that means is you may have failed miserably yesterday, but you come to work Like, people like, man, you just lost everything. How the hell are you just fucking damn motivated? Because this is what it takes. This is what the fuck it takes. I learned how to really find strength in the misery. When everybody's suffering, everybody's all poopy pants and their mentality's down and everything, I started just like, my God, this is where I shine. And I started using all that misery for tons and tons of drive and motivation to then lead people further. Because you can get a lot of power through misery. And once people see that, my God, Goggins is fucking going, then everybody says, roger that. Let me get my shit and go too. So I started realizing that if you can just find strength just a little bit longer, you will have a crew of people following you along the way. And I had to invent this person. David Goggins is an introverted, soft kid that got beat up growing up and mindset had to lie to create friends, to get friends, to be accepted. So my life has really been about two people. Very scary, but two people. I had to invent a whole nother human being to get outside of my comfort zone. And that human being became Goggins. Goggins is like the guy that walks out of the phone booth. He's like that Superman that walks out of the phone booth. And I was talking to my fiance today about, it's kind of strange how sometimes I have a conversation between David Goggins, and Goggins will tell David Goggins about the shit he's done. And David Goggins like, what the hell, man? Why are you doing that? That's nuts. So it's kind of this battle between trying to find more of yourself, knowing that the real you is afraid, likes comfort, likes living in a world that is that likes to pat you on the back, give you the things that you want to hear, not the things that you have to hear to get better. People go, what's your biggest fear in life? And my biggest fear, honestly, was, let's say this. Let's say I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care. So let's just play a game with me. Let's say you're God, and we have a big fucking long line of people. And I made it to heaven. I'm 75 years old. I'm 300 pounds. I made it to heaven. I worked for Ecolab my entire life, spraying for cockroaches. That's what I did. But I'm dead. I'm in heaven now. And you're judging us all now. So we're in line. We're all sitting there in line. You have Adam Brown. He has a big board up, and you're talking to Adam Brown about his life. And you rip it down, and I'm next in line, David Goggins. I see my name, and I see all this shit, and God goes, hey, you say, read this, man. And I'm reading this list, and I'm seeing 182 pounds, Navy SEAL, Ranger School, motivational speaker, changing lives. Okay, man, pull-up record, all this shit. And I'm like, that's not me, man. And God looks at me and says, that's who you were supposed to be. Have you guys heard of my thing called Taking Souls?
Yeah.
Okay. For those of you who haven't, I'm gonna give you a short story so everybody's watching. And so when I started figuring out what I want to be in life, I want to be a leader. I want to be the leader, like I said, when a fire breaks out, they look at you. And what that means is this. It was Wednesday of my second hell week. We had been up the whole time, hadn't gotten any sleep. And so there's about 3 boat crews left, which means there's not many people left. Like over, I don't know, 80, 90 people are quit. We're down to just 3 boat crews. So we go into the med check, and they go in, they check us out. Everybody is hypothermic, everybody's all jacked up. And Wednesday, you're a zombie. That's what the pass down. So the pass down is through years. They tell you on Wednesday you're a zombie. You're walking around like this because you don't want your clothes to touch you because you're soaking wet. You just got out of the ocean and you're just pissing on yourself to get warm. Basically what happens is you go to med check. They have these aid crates. The aid crates have your nice dry clothes in them. But what happens is the instructors are there fucking putting water in them. So those dry clothes are now fucking wet. And all the students are just like poopy pants, like fuck. I gotta put these fucking wet clothes on, and they're putting them on slow, and the instructors are yelling. But now, the instructors know that they're zombies because the instructors were zombies on Wednesday, so they're giving us a little bit of leash. This goes somewhere, so let's work with me for a second. So we got 3 boats. Boat Crew 1, Boat Crew 2, and the Smurf Crew. So Boat Crew 1, they're the tallest guys. Boat Crew 2, the second tallest guys, and so on and so forth. There's only 3 boat crews up here. So everybody gets under their boat, and they're standing there with the boat on top of their head, and everybody's doing this shit. I look back, I am fucked up. My feet, my hands, my neck, my whole body's just messed up. And I'm looking at, like everything's slowed down. I'm looking at all these people under these boats, and they're just sitting there jackhammering, and heads are down, and the motivation is gone. And I said, David, this is exactly where you wanted to. This is your time. This is your time. You're amongst the baddest motherfuckers in the world right now. And everybody's fucked up. This is my internal dialogue right now. What are you gonna fucking do, man? This is your shot, man. This is your fucking shot. I'm in the front of the boat crew. The front of the boat is the heaviest part of the boat. I'm looking at my boat crew and they're all just fucking, I want this to end. But it's not gonna end until Friday. We got 2 more fucking days of this shit. So I'm like in the front of the boat, I'm like, you know what, man? So the instructors are at Boat Crew 1, they're saying, all right, motherfuckers, pick the boat up. And we've been picking this boat up now forever, but now for some reason, no one can pick the fucking boat up. So here they are. And it's going back to their head. So I'm looking at I go, okay, look, guys. So I turn around my boat crew. There's 5 guys behind me. I said, look, motherfuckers. Don't be a fucking punk today. I want you to look at these fucking instructors because they were where we were years ago, under these boats. And I want them to think about, they'd never seen a boat crew like Boat Crew 2. We're gonna fucking take their motherfucking souls today. So, I start to juice these and so when you get juiced up, false motivation becomes what? Real motivation. So now, they're starting to feel the juice. So the instructors come by, all right, Boat Crew 2, but right now, Boat Crew 2 has said, fuck it. We're gonna pick the boat up before you tell us to pick the boat up. So the boat's up. Now we're starting to boat press it. And all we're saying is you can't hurt Boat Crew 2. And now, our boat crew puts the boat down. They let us put the boat down because we showed something that no one else had. So by us putting out more, we got a chance to rest. So as we're resting, I turn around to our boat crew. It says, all these fucking instructors, I want to make sure from Wednesday to Friday, they cannot sleep with their fucking wives because they're thinking about Boat Crew 2. So, you want to be that one motherfucker that every day, whether it's raining, snowing, sleeting, you lost every dime, your mom died, your dad died, you come and you bring the energy that it takes to make a team function at the highest fucking level every day. And that's the person you want to be every day of your life. I was like, man, what story would it be if my fucking fat, dumb, lying to be friends with people, insecure ass can overcome this shit? And that what if mentality, like that dreamer mentality just would always fuel me. It would just fuel me, man, what if I can be a SEAL, man? What if I can go from running a quarter of a fucking mile, now I run 205 miles. What if I can go? What if I can go? And what if, how would that feel if I'm graduating? Because I'll never forget at the graduation thing I was talking about, 224, like the video I sat down and watched. This commanding officer stood up and he said to the graduation, guys who are graduating buds, like 18 of them, he said, we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. And he went on to say something about these men detest mediocrity. And I wanted to be a man that detests mediocrity. It got me in a lot of trouble in the SEAL teams and going forward in my life because I started looking down on people for not going hard as fucking shit. But I just believed that, my whole mind changed.
That is a problem that a lot of people who work hard do have. You get angry at people who don't work hard to the point where you you want to insult them, you want to smack them, and it's really because you're scared of seeing that yourself.
Yeah, that's probably the truth. That's probably the truth. So I guess a lot of times in my life I would see people, and it probably was a direct reflection of who I was. And I would get mad at them, but in reflection, it's probably just getting mad at myself.
Yeah, that's for me, 100%. When I see people that are half-assing things, I get terrified of seeing that in myself, and I get mad at them.
Right.
And it's not a good way to handle it.
No.
But it's natural because you're just terrified of seeing that trait.
Right. And it cost me.
So you come back, you do the quarter mile,
right?
You walk back home. How do you regroup?
So what I did, I sat down there and I put Rocky in. I got my milkshake, put Rocky. I said, you know what? I was big time in Rocky and Platoon. Why Platoon? I love to see people who were getting beat down, and there's scenes. There's scenes that just drove me, and people in my hell weeks, I was in 3 of them, they'd always hear me singing these songs, humming these songs in torturous situations. When everybody's quitting this fucking code, I would be somewhere gone. Somewhere fucking gone, and somewhere fucking dark as shit. There's a scene in Platoon when Barnes shoots Elias, and they think Elias is dead, and the choppers are taking off, and Charlie Sheen's asking, Tom Berenger, where's Elias? Where's Elias? William Dafoe. Oh, I found him back there dead somewhere. And through the woods, the Viet Cong is chasing Elias through the woods, and they're shooting him in his fucking back. And all he wants to do is get to the fucking chopper. He's getting shot in his back, he's getting up, he's getting shot in his back, he's getting up. And you see this guy just fighting. I love the fucking guy who just fucking fights. And so I put these things in as reminders that you're gonna have to fucking suffer, man. This fucking .25, man, man, you're gonna have to fucking suffer. To go from this fat, insecure motherfucker to one of the best guys on the planet Earth, this journey is gonna take something that is going to be incomprehensible to most people. And these different visualizations, how I visualize in my self-talk, it became so nasty and dirty that I almost liked the fact that I went .25. So it became from being defeated to like, man, all right, motherfucker, maybe tomorrow we can go .75. It just became this different mindset. I turned negatives into positives. So I would take it like, who would even think about doing this? So I would sit on my couch saying, who at 297, who can't fucking swim that great, who's scared of the fucking water, would have the fucking balls? Who had the balls to fucking man up, quit a job, and go and just put everything on himself. So it's how I started talking to myself and putting myself in a whole different category, and that would fuel me the next day, and I just kept using that as fuel. No one would do this shit. No one would do this shit. You're the baddest motherfucker around. You're the baddest motherfucker ever lived. And I just kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality to myself.
So we all have this nice list of things that we kind of shy away from in life. My big thing about being mentally strong is you have to pick those things you don't want to do and start to check them off the box, man. It's so easy just to go to that nice comfort zone, to pass the least resistance, so then your mind starts to get more and more weak, weaker and weaker and weaker. And you wonder, why the fuck am I not getting tougher? Because you're choosing this nice, happy path with nice, comfortable beds and all sorts of shit over here on this side. Over here is that side that we fear. You gotta make that fear list over here, start to conquer it, start to overcome it, start to callous your mind, dig into all these different things, and that's how you do it, man.
There's purity in physical pursuits, right? Because it doesn't matter what your social status is. It doesn't matter how people perceive you. When it comes down to how long can you stay in that pool, when it comes down to how far can you run, right, when it comes down to how much can you push yourself past the part where you want to quit, right, how far can you keep going? There's a purity in that it dissolves social order, all that bullshit, what people think about you goes out the window. It's who are you right now?
That's right.
Who are you right now?
That's a true statement, man. And I look at it as psychological warfare. And that's where I started learning that life is one big psychological warfare that you play on yourself. You play on yourself, man. The most important conversation I ever had is with myself. And the shit I was telling myself was so fucked up, it was so wrong, it was so misguided. And other people start to write that dialogue for you also. And it starts to be what you say to yourself every single day. And I started creating a whole nother warfare a whole nother battle started becoming. I was like, oh, hang on a second, Goggins. You have these tools. You have these tools. Your life was basically the perfect grounds for training for where you need to go in your life. All the beatings, all the bullying, all the, you going through learning disabilities, all the struggles. It was the absolute perfect training ground for you to go to where you need to go. And that's how I started looking at my life versus woe is me, poopy pants, kick a rock down the street mentality. It was, nah, God just hooked you right the fuck up. You were training for the first 18, 19, 20, you were training for this stuff, man. You have the advantage of everybody else versus, my God, they're so above me. They came from a great family. Mom and dad love them. They didn't have to learn, they didn't stutter, they didn't struggle. Nah, man, your struggle is what made you who you are now. So I started flipping this into a whole different, I started being a master of what I was scared of. I was scared of my mind. And I became literally a master of that mind. And that's what now, from now on, it sets me apart from most people. I started diving into that. I used to look at my life from a different vantage point. And when you're in all the muck and you're just walking in muck and walking in muck and walking in muck, you don't see that if you look off to the fucking left of the muck, there's a sidewalk, brother. Get off of it. You have your head down looking in this muck. Once I saw the sidewalk, got the sidewalk, I got a little break. And I got a different vantage point. And then from the sidewalk, I found a cliff. Then I found a mountain. I got way up high on top of my life and looked back down on it and said, okay, I got to figure this out, man.
And that's such an important point when you're talking about the working out, because a lot of people, when they think about working out, they think of it as being a physical thing.
Right, no. I did it for mental.
Yeah.
People always say, my God, like, no, don't look at it like, I didn't care about losing weight. I didn't care about being the fastest person. I wasn't making the Olympics. I wasn't going to pros. I could barely read and write when I was a junior in high school. I saw working out as a way for me to build calluses on my mind. I had to callus over the victim's mentality. I always equated training to mental toughening. Like, it always looked brutal. People waking up early and doing all these things, and it looked horrible. I was like, wow, man, I gotta start doing that. Not to get better, bigger, and stronger, but that is what's gonna build me. That looks uncomfortable. That looks brutal. And getting up early, I don't wanna do that. So I made this long list of things I don't wanna do. And through that, I found myself. I started, I'm like, you guys aren't doing this shit in high school. You guys aren't getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, running over here in this golf course. So I started seeing myself very differently than the average human being. I was like, hang on a second. I have something they don't have. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem. I always equated working out to struggle. And I struggled my whole life, but I ran from it. So I started realizing, man, I gotta start facing the struggle, and I gotta be mentally strong for the struggle. So that's why I started coming up with, like, I'm training for life. Mentally, I'm training for life. I'm not training for, like, to lift 400 pounds. And I found out on my own pretty much, is that through discipline, through self-discipline, through repetition, through tons of repetition of the same thing that you don't want to do, and that's the key thing. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, you develop mental, like an armor for your mind. You start to armor your mind, because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it. And that's how I started coming up. I just started being very uncomfortable. Now it's like just a way of life.